everyone. Usually I'm a little bit more enthusiastic and we jump right into our shows, and I usually have some kind of joke. I've had a lot of trouble laughing at shit today. Someone died today in Charlottesville, and 19 people were hurt. I guess what I want to express with a platform that actually, can reach some people is that this sucks, and I don't give a shit if you're on the left or the right. There are 20 families today that are trying to process what the fuck happened. I don't really have a lot of words to express how just beside myself and how fucked I think the situation is. But at the end of the day, I guess my concrete statement is if you are a Nazi, get the fuck out of my country. That's all I have to say about that. And I'm sure the rest of you agree with me.
Co-signed.
Agreed.
Fuck all Nazis.
Fuck all Nazis. Okay. Now that that's out of the way...
saying things that shouldn't be said. Shouldn't need to be
said. Exactly.
Shouldn't need to be fucking said. This show will not become political, and now here comes a laugh, because that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about Hitler.
Yeah, that was...
Perfect, Allan. Perfect.
Oh,
Hey, it's Allan who made that joke, so it's all right.
Yeah, Allan can say that. Allan can say that.
Only Allan can say that. That's right. Jesus Christ.
It's okay, everyone, because Hitler is actually a key part of tonight's discussion of the episodes of Preacher that were on television.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you would have told me maybe 2 years ago, I would be discussing Hitler on a podcast. That would be crazy.
And on a podcast that wasn't historically related?
Yeah, it's not an
like,
episode of the Shadow Zone.
We're not over... What's that? No, dude, I officially... No, it's still being worked on, because I had to change the first topic of the first episode, because I was like, all right, I'll do Rasputin. And I go to, I look at the script, and, I'm going through my, the next day I'm going through my shit on Podcast Addict. The first new episode pops up, Weird Tales and the Unexplainable, The Life of Grigor Rasputin. I'm like, fuck this.
You should have just copy and pasted that.
No,
and said the real version.
Dudes, and they do a good show, and their show is way better than mine will ever be, because they've been doing it for longer. And I was like, nope, God, I don't want to do something that's been talked about to death. So I changed the topic, and it's actually coming along much nicer now that I actually have something I'm genuinely excited to talk about. So no, it will not take away the Pop Slam. It's still happening. Pop Slam was out of my control. That was a problem.
Pop Slam, may it rest in peace.
Pop Slam had a mutiny.
It did.
Yeah, they just fucked off and turned it into a weird fantasy football thing.
No. I allowed that. The problem, I was like, hey, this isn't a wrestling group. And a lot of them were like, hey, this is a wrestling group. I was like, okay, this is a wrestling group.
Oh, yeah, I remember Wrestling Wednesdays.
No, it became Wrestling Week. And then literally everyone was like, I fucking hate wrestling, and left.
Yeah. Then the rest of them migrated to Phantom Zone.
Basically.
Yeah, and now we're here. Okay. Sorry about that derail. Okay.
So Preacher happened.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, and I can't remember.
Not
someone who
staying up to date on things.
No. Well, the universe hasn't been kind to us the last few weeks as far as podcast scheduling goes.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I was on a beach getting drunk, so things weren't working out very well.
Oh, God, what a burden.
I went out on a date, sort of, kind of.
Ooh, a date.
Was she a nice girl, Kana?
She was very nice, but I'm good.
What a resounding endorsement of that encounter.
Yeah.
She must have been the crazy one.
No, actually, I'm sort of semi-attracted to crazy.
Oh, so you're CM Punk.
And I don't know, maybe the crazy just wasn't there.
Great. Good.
She wasn't doing fucking backflips down Fremont Street in Las Vegas. I just wasn't intrigued.
Right. She wasn't dressing up as Daryl Hannah in Blade Runner. Like, just...
Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I would have asked her to marry me.
Anyways, Preacher.
Guy runs out, dresses Harrison Ford. Did you hire him for all this? This is fantastic.
So yeah, they humanized Hitler in this. God damn it. Okay, okay. Yeah, they humanized Hitler at some point. There's a scene where Hitler is getting kicked the shit out of, and there's a moment where you're like, holy fuck, I care about Hitler. Why is this happening to me?
Well, I mean,
I didn't care about Hitler.
I did for a second.
I did.
I was like, shit, I feel bad for him.
With the introduction of him in the TV show, because I mean, he wasn't in the comics at all. Like this is a complete divergence from where the comics went. And I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just it's very interesting that they've chosen to go this route. But I mean, when they introduce Hitler, like you obviously know it's him. I mean, it's, you're not going to have somebody with a side part like that and a mustache like that in hell if it's not Hitler. But they don't set him up as this genocidal maniac. They just have him as this quiet little nebbish guy, and it's interesting that they're doing it that way. I'm not sure what the angle is they're going for. I mean, there's something that happens in episode 8, but none of you guys have seen that yet, so you'll have to wait and see.
And they actually got a proper actor to play Hitler. It's Noah Taylor from Game of Thrones, Submarine.
Yeah, he's the guy in Game of Thrones, spoilers, who cuts Jaime's hand off. If you're...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Locke.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the guy with the eye patch. He goes up north at some point.
Yeah.
Kill Jon Snow, I think.
No,
good
to
luck
kill
with that.
to kill Bran and Rickon.
Am I right?
Right, but he yeah, that's true. Well, no, I don't think he knew that Bran and Rickon were still alive.
No, he went there to kill Bran.
Okay.
But I think he was he had Hodor kill him.
Okay.
That's
right.
Fucking Rickon would have lived if he just fucking zigzagged. Stupid kid.
Serpentine motions,
you fucking idiot. What are you doing?
Oh, he and Charlize
It's a bow and
Theron
arrow,
must have...
It's a bow and arrow, not a cannonball.
He and
God damn
Charlize
it.
Theron's character from Prometheus must have gone to the same school of dodging.
No,
so
Charlize Theron just has no idea how to avoid danger in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a bow and arrow being shot at you is a bit more ambiguous than, like, holy shit, a fucking wheel-like spaceship is rolling at me. I should do nothing.
Yeah.
well, no, just run forward instead of the left or right, which were
Put my
obviously
hands
open.
up. That'll
Yeah.
stop it.
Exactly.
Fucking dumb bitch. I'm sorry.
Defensive wound.
God damn it.
What happened? She was smothered, but her hands took all the damage.
Exactly. But I'm
Not
trying to...
good. I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep. You can't make me delirious like this.
With back to Preacher, the whole purpose of this episode, the episode when they're in hell, when they're first seeing that, and you're seeing what everybody's private hell is, and my God, like Eugene's terrible hell that I mean, you can see that he didn't really do anything, but he's kind of punishing himself, and obviously he's in a bad situation, but he's been such a sponge for abuse for so long that he just thinks he's the one who did wrong. But
his personal hell is still like him reliving the day where that chick shot herself, right?
Yeah. I mean,
fucking terrible, because all he did was like, what does he just admit that he likes her, and she's like, ew.
He likes, and he tries to, he kisses her, and she goes ew, and then shoots herself. Like, Jesus Christ,
so fucking hardcore and mean.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing too, was like Hitler's personal hell, which I think was in episode 4, maybe it was episode 5. Like, was it just when the guy who owns the gallery like brushes against him? Like, am I remembering that correctly?
No, I think it's the girl. It's the...
No.
Okay, she's the one who introduces
him.
Yeah, she's like...
She talks... She says that they're old friends, and there's some you can hear some gunfire in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think
he disagree.
I think-
They disagree. Him and the woman disagree, and
Yeah.
that's when the whole thing stops. And
Okay.
yeah, that was a technical difficulty if I remember correctly, though.
Yeah, it was. That was right when everything shorted out.
So I assume that there's some other part of this where the deeper you get into his hell, it's probably the day he became who he is, and that's his hell when he was seduced.
I was waiting for it to be actually that he tries to present some of his paintings
Yes.
to the gallery owner and tells him like, what are you doing? This is garbage.
Mhm.
Like it, kind of along the same lines as what happened in the when Jenny Sparks story from the Origins of the Authority, where she meets Hitler when she's like 17 or 18, when she's living in I guess, where was it, the Netherlands, something along those lines, and she tells a young Hitler like, well, maybe you're just a shit artist, and that kind of sets him down the path that he goes down.
But this painting, it's trash, and you're a vegan? Get out of my face.
Was that Hitler or was that the dude from The Room?
Tommy
Tommy
was
Wiseau. Yeah.
This painting
I'm
is
just saying,
terrible.
Oh,
You're
hi,
a
Hitler.
fool. Oh, hi,
just
Hitler.
saying.
Your painting is terrible.
We've never seen Tommy Wiseau and Hitler in the same room at the same time.
Oh God.
Oh God, that's a really good point.
That means
That's a really
Hitler
good
is...
point.
God, I cannot wait for
really
the
is a
disaster
vampire.
artist.
Hitler's a vampire and a bodies hopper? What is he? Was he Jason from Jason Goes to Hell?
Yes.
Probably.
Oh my God, he's a demonic worm.
Well, the Russians didn't shoot him; they just captured him.
Exactly.
They preserved him in a whingy Frenchman's body.
Probably.
It was a Winter Soldier type of deal.
God damn it!
They put him on ice to come out and make a shit movie every 7 years.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
God damn it!
You guys remember the puppet?
All right, let's be serious, guys.
We'll find out when the gang is at Dennis's. You see these Katrina commercials.
Yeah. God. Frankie,
Yeah, Frankie Muniz. I was like, what the fuck, Frankie
Yeah.
Muniz?
Malcolm showing up out of nowhere.
Okay.
And they notice that one of the old man actor is the guy from season 1,
Yeah, the one who's playing God. Yep.
Yeah, it's
and they
pretty crazy.
they bring up Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Forgot
yeah,
about
they
that.
do.
It all,
Yeah.
it's
And
all
the-
connected.
They use Game of Thrones to get into the audition room and get a tape or whatever.
His audition
So, yeah.
reel for it. And,
Yeah, they used that to get the tape from his agent.
and
Yeah.
you hear talking in, off screen,
Right.
and then they say you got the part, and he gets shot right in the heart.
Yep.
And and Jesse is fixated for the next the next few episodes on trying to find out, trying to zoom in on the hand.
Yeah, that comes to a head in episode 8.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Not in a bad way. I'll warn you now, episode 8 feels a little bit like they're spinning their wheels because what's coming up next is going to be interesting, but that's neither here nor there because we're not going to be talking about that episode. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does lead into episode 5, which I don't have notes for, and I don't remember anything that happened in it.
It's a
episode
flashback
5
to Jesse and Tulip after Carlos betrayed them.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Yep. About her losing the baby and about what they were doing with themselves at the time. Which
So
Episode
5 is the one with Victor, where he
Well, no,
he has
4
the...
is also Victor.
Right.
Those 2 episodes are connected.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, which one is the one where he's fighting the guy who's listening to music while Billy Joel is playing?
that would be.
I wanna say-
I think that's episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
yeah.
is. It is
So that's
because
the-
episode 5
yeah.
ends. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's one of the better scenes in this whole show. It's I really thought it was very well done, and that's the kind of stuff that I think makes this show good. And I'm noticing it more with this season. It's not as consistent as I thought last season was, but there are sequences per episode, at least one sequence in a given episode that I'm always impressed by. And it's that sequence specifically that really got me because of the way that they used the music and the way it was edited. It felt like...
And the choreography.
Yeah, it just felt very well done. And they paid a lot of attention to that scene and making that scene special. So it kind of makes up for anything that's uninteresting about the rest of that episode. So
the episode ends with Tulip telling Jesse that Victor is her husband. And the funny thing is that Victor is played by Paul Ben Victor, who is the American Mark Strong.
Yeah, he is. He totally is. Yeah.
Also, another alumni of The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he was. He was second season, wasn't he?
He was on
He was
there.
one of the Russians.
No, he was Greek. He was with Greek,
Greek
mob boss.
Yeah. No, I remember him at the very end. He's the one who took the fall, if I remember correctly, at the end of the second season. Maybe I'm misremembering the exact ending, but I remember him in the show.
Yeah, AMC loves taking people from The Wire, especially Walking Dead.
Well, I mean, it seems like everybody loves taking people from The Wire because everybody on The Wire was so good. Kind of like how everybody from Oz shows up in the various SVU and Law and Order shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially Christopher Maloney.
Yeah. Well, he's an amazing man. He is a wonderful comedic actor.
What a good dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Christopher Maloney.
The general or something, whatever it was from Man of Steel.
The one who wanted to rub some sweaters in Wet Hot American Summer.
Sorry, I went to go look up his name, and I was on a Screen Rant website, and their autoplay video just destroyed my eardrums.
Fucking Screen Rant.
Fuck you, Screen Rant. Oh, okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. SVU guy. Yeah.
But to go back to the hell scene in the various episodes of Preacher, one of the more interesting things is that in the comics, like Arseface I don't remember him actually being named Eugene, but I mean that's neither here nor there. But I mean he was never actually sent to hell. Like
he was introduced later on in the comics, right?
No, actually he's introduced within the first main storyline.
He's in the first 3 issues.
Yeah. What it is, I mean, first off, his dad in the comics was a deplorable human being. He was the stereotype of a Southern, lawman.
He shot at the Martian N-words.
Yes, in the sky. Yep. That was his answer for everything that was going wrong was Martian N-words.
And the actor who played him on last season also was Dan Doherty on Deadwood.
I love when Allan just throws a string of things at me that I don't know what they are.
But one of the more horrific things...
He did not age well over the 10 year or over the 15 years.
One of the more horrific things that ends up happening in the first storyline in Preacher that they obviously couldn't do in the TV show was the way Jesse handled Arseface's dad, Hugo Root, was he told him to go fuck himself with the word of God. Now, being that he has to literally follow what he told him, the next panel in the comic is a paramedic saying, well, it's too late for microsurgery, but we were able to seal the wound and remove it from his anus.
Oh no.
Don't you love Garth Ennis?
God.
I gotta...
I'm sorry, but correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Garth Ennis the guy who wrote, Punisher stringing a man's intestines over a tree to let
Yeah, but that was awesome.
Yeah. Punisher Max, yeah.
And he's also the guy who created Dogwalker.
Crossed. Yes.
Yeah.
He
Okay, now
created
also,
Hitman.
another Garth Ennis question.
Ennis.
I was listening to How Did It... Whatever. I was listening to How Did This Get Made the other day about Punisher Warzone, and... oh, damn it. What is that delightful woman's name, the director?
Oh, Lexi Alexander?
She's talking about I guess she picked up a few Punisher comics, and she said the first thing she saw was a man with a cup that had 2 testicles in it that were just...
Oh, yeah, that's from his first, 6 issues of the Punisher Max run.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
It took me a year and a half to read all of Punisher Max, so the beginnings are a bit fuzzy.
Yeah, no, it's that. God, that was amazing because that reintroduced Micro and a lot of older stuff, and
Yeah,
basically told you that.
Just a quick Punisher Max side note, like, does that play with like the ending kind of happening first, or
No.
so he offs Micro in like the first like 4 or 5 issues?
By the end of I think the 5th or 6th issue, yeah, he takes care of him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just wanted to. Garth obviously wanted to just turn him into a one-man killing machine again. He didn't want him to have to rely on any of the doodads and gizmos that Micro was getting for him.
It really worked because then that series led to me watching Frank Castle watch TV where a man's peeing on his family's grave, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Okay. That sequence is that he's mid-bite into burger, and you just like the close-up on his eyes.
No, I have a picture of that panel somewhere on my phone and my laptop. I laugh at it every time because I'm like, there is no drawing on the planet of a more angrier Frank Castle than there is on this
Connor,
moment.
can you please
right
send
here.
me that? Because
I'll try to find it. Yeah.
I know, because I know
So
I fucking know Steve Dillon drew that.
Oh yeah, of course he did.
It's so good. I'm like, it's weird when a piece of art can jump off the page and make you go, oh.
Yeah, no, it's really uncomfortable.
Speaking of Punisher,
Well, like I was in a pizzeria and I went, damn, you fucked up.
Speaking of Punisher, there's an old issue where I forgot, it was during the 70s or 80s. There were a bunch of people, a bunch of guys were trying to take or torture the Punisher. So they tried to drown him in a bag of piss.
Oh God, I don't remember that.
God.
The way you said a bag of piss is.
Well, it was the pregnant pause before he said bag of piss.
Oh boy, back to Preacher.
Yeah, back to Preacher. Yeah, I mean, some of the other things I've noticed is just that they're really kind of trying to combine a lot of the later story arcs kind of into this one big story that they're doing. And I'm okay with it because, I mean, it's some of the crazier stuff that either is a little bit one-off or they just wouldn't be able to do on TV. Like, they ended up in New Orleans at one point, but it's not until much later for very different reasons. So them being down there now kind of makes sense because it still connects into Tulip's somewhat bigger storyline, but I mean, hers I think is kind of done at this point with the exception of dealing with flashbacks. Go ahead.
Which book is it where they start to delve into Jesse's grandma? And
that would be the second trade paperback. That's what I'm kind of wondering if they're going to do for the third season, because I know in episode 5 they dropped, or episode 6 they had Jesse dropping the Langle when he went to go try and buy a soul off that the guy at the one store. Like he'd gone in and he asked the guy, oh, I want to buy a soul, and the guy's like, I don't have souls, whatever he said in response, and Jesse's like, and he's like, who do you think you are? He's like, my name's Jesse Langle, like, I know what you sell, and the guy all of a sudden got scared of him. So they're trying to connect his family that obviously lives in the South to the bigger storyline, but I'm just curious when they're going to drop that.
Yeah, and didn't he say something along the lines of used to be in the business or something?
Yeah. He was just implying that his family knows about that, which is a little bit different than the comic, but whatever, I'm fine with it. We can let it get a pass, so.
That was perfectly synchronized.
Did you fucking adjust your monocle like I did?
Yep. Yeah, so many things to talk about. Tyler, who's my favorite character from 13 Reasons, great show that nobody should ever watch.
Is that how I recommend Antichrist to people?
Yeah, I mean,
Antichrist has Willem Dafoe.
That's the worst thing I could say about anything ever.
I mean,
hey, I saw this movie called Antichrist. Really, should I watch it? Fuck no.
Alan can speak to this more than I can, but never watch 13 Reasons. It's so bad for you. It's the worst thing for you to watch. But yeah, the main villain from that show, a piece of shit who's playing a white douchebag that rapes people, came to this show, and he plays the exact same character as far as I can tell. So he's the guy who leads the Hitler beating squad. And he's
a fucking millennial.
Okay, the douchebag with the pop collar. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Okay.
Yeah.
you
Playing the
put-
exact same character.
you put Hitler in a fucking popped collar piece of shit white dude in the same room, and be like, I
don't know who to
can I kill them both?
I just nuke it from orbit. That's
Does
what
it
you need to
matter
do.
who I kill first?
At some point, does he start saying Heil Tyler? I can't remember.
No, see Kyle.
Jesus, what?
They say see Kyle. Well, I hear he says the line, what, no more see Kyles? And Hitler seems offended by that.
hmm
And then, as they're starting to beat on him, like kicking him in the face and stuff,
Yeah.
Eugene
What
doesn't...
a weird show.
He doesn't know what to do, so he was told... that he has to
Act the part.
Yeah, he has to play the part. He's in hell. He
Yeah,
has to
by the woman who leads the prison or whatever.
Yeah, whatever
warden.
she is. Yeah. Yeah, it's with the weird dropping of her voice when she's talking, and
Yeah.
I'm
Well, they're in hell.
waiting for some sort of reveal.
I assume she's kind of some kind of demon. At least at the least.
I mean, I think that's a safe assumption. Yeah.
But right before, like, Eugene's trying to say, everybody stop, or everybody wait. And they're like, what? And Tyler says, what? And the camera pans to Hitler, who's very bloody around his mouth. And he says in his muffled voice, and just starts kicking.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a strange television show this is.
It really is.
Yeah, that's...
You know, and before I didn't speak up while you guys were talking about, like, Arlen, you said, like, this show, it doesn't feel as consistent as season 1, and I think it's because I don't think you can maintain this level of bizarre all the time.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I
accurate.
think that's very accurate. And that's the thing I was kind of surprised at with season 1 is that they combined that with a much later storyline in the comic, and I think the only reason they did that is because it was one of the more semi-normal parts of the comic. There wasn't quite as much insanity, which I mean is
Also,
hard to say when you have someone like Odin Quincannon involved.
Yeah.
Also, it's season 1 kind of feels more like a prologue.
A prequel? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
totally
know
a
what you mean.
prologue. Yeah.
And I understand why they did that because selling people on a road trip is hard.
Well, the scene in the diner at the end of episode was it 10 or 13?
Something
yeah,
like that.
probably.
I'm pretty sure that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's where the book opens up.
Pretty much, yeah.
But there's not. But instead of talking about Big Lebowski, Jesse is talking about everyone's secrets and everything.
Talking
in
about
the diner.
everybody's backstory. Yeah, not even their full backstory, but just giving you the basic comic book introduction to everybody, which is like, all right, this is this person, this is what they were doing, this is this person, and that's what they were doing. Yeah, which, I mean, that's acceptable in a comic, but on a TV show, that just wouldn't translate well.
I know I'm gonna go off again, but did you guys see the promotional art that Steve Dillon did for the second season before he passed?
No.
No, I'd seen the covers that they did for like a re-release of issue 1, but no, I didn't see any of the promo art that he had done.
It was the characters. It was the characters drawn like they are for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really some good stuff. And I'm really sad that he's no longer with us.
And for such a stupid reason, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. Refresh my memory. What happened to Steve Dillon?
Steve Dillon died of appendicitis.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I treat that shit in cats like every day.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I
Man,
remember, he was
blows.
doing some con appearances, and yeah, he'd been having stomach issues, whatever the case might be, and
then it's like it's not like his fault because like that shit'll creep up on you.
yeah, exactly.
That shit almost killed Matt Hardy. I can't remember what he was doing. He was out in his fucking day and his appendix just popped.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this would have any bearing on it, but I know Steve Dillon had become a teetotaler too. Like he had given up the drinking, and I don't know if there's any drugs involved in his past or whatever. But I'm just wondering if he had a weakened system and just all of that combined.
Well, I mean, like it also sucks when like you're killed by an organ your body doesn't fucking need anymore because it's trying to de-evolve it out of your system.
Yeah, it's the vestigial tail of your interior.
That's God reaching through the clouds and flicking you off the planet maliciously.
Yeah,
That is my fear. That's my fear because I only have one working kidney.
Allan, are you a lemon?
I don't
Stunned
think
silence. I don't think you understand. I'm not asking if you're an actual fruit. A lemon is a term they use for busted up cars.
God damn it.
Kinda.
Anyways,
Okay.
We also refer to
All
animals
right.
in our hospitals as lemons who come in. It's like, oh, you broke your toe again.
All right. Let's jump to.
Let's jump to episode 5, Dallas.
No, let's jump over episode 5 because I don't care.
No, because you see, because
Jesse's wanton abuse of the word of God ends up bringing the saint back into the scene. That's the big reveal at the end of episode 5.
Oh, he comes back?
Yes, he is.
I don't remember this. I may have fallen asleep.
he
Okay.
comes back,
Well-
kills Victor, and is about to kill Victor's daughter.
No, he doesn't. Oh no, the Saint kills Victor. Yeah, he does.
And
thought you said-
the daughter was a real bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
was.
Like she's
Yeah.
a total, just terrible, like a real.
Real piece of shit.
Yeah,
No,
I mean most
no,
little
no.
girls are though.
She
Like-
was.
Little
Wow.
girls are pieces of shit.
Wow.
Children are pieces of shit. I don't
My
like
God,
children.
you're a monster.
You know what? I'm taking a hardline stance. I agree with Allan.
That's right.
No, dude. Fucking... Wait, how... Are we talking, like, below 10, or are we talking,
Over
like...
10.
15? I mean, below
Children
10...
don't become interesting till 13, and even
below
then,
10, they're just little, like, fucking ankle-biting buckets of disease.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
No, she.
I mean,
My opinions on children here, fans, though.
all right. So the
When-
old man's going to talk for a second here. Like I have 2 stepsons because my wife had kids from a prior marriage, and they're 15 and going to be 17 in January. And I would say you go through various phases with them being little shitty ankle biters. Like I would say 7 and 8, not bad. 6, horrible. 10 through 12, getting bad again because of all the hormones kicking in. Then 13 through 14, it's not bad, and then it starts to get bad again.
My friend George, who most of us now know,
Yep.
he has 2 kids, 2 sons, who are these little stamina mutants who, like, me and George will be playing Dark Souls. It's 2 a.m. his time, and I can hear them just causing a fucking ruckus behind him. I'm like, what are they doing up this late? He's
Yeah.
like,
They're
he's
burning
like,
the cat again. Don't worry
he's
about
like,
it.
I don't know. He's like, he's like, I can have them sleep. Like, he's like, I can tranquilize these kids, and they would get up when I'm sleeping and start tormenting me.
I like this idea that
Yeah.
George is some kind of jailkeeper for like 2 like.
Don't speak their names. You'll awaken them. Don't speak their names.
George is watching the twins from Age of Ultron. Like, it's what they train for.
the enhanced.
Oh, you
Yeah.
angered them. Their bloodthirst is upon them.
The neighbors go outside to get their paper and to get knocked down by one of them. We have an enhanced in the field.
Okay, so going back to Dallas
Yeah,
because this is
So, episode
I love
6.
Proto. What's his name? God damn it. I can't remember character
Proto-Man?
names.
Mega Man's brother?
No. Proto-Cass. That's what I'm calling him.
Oh, you mean Danny?
Yeah.
Not Danny.
Just stick with my name, Proto-Cass.
Dennis?
Yeah. No, he's the guy who...
Dennis is Cass's son.
He's the guy who's, like, telling Jesse about women's studies and why John Wayne is racist or whatever, or a bad
He's
bad
an archetypal... He's a fatherly figure because every woman he saves is about to get raped.
Right. So, yeah, and this guy is very Proto-Cass.
Patriarchal. He's a patriarchal figure.
Right. Yes, yeah. And he's like, I don't know, I like John Wayne, which is that's a reference to the fact that Jesse, like, has visions of John Wayne in the comic books, right?
Yep.
And, like,
he does.
He, like, sees John Wayne around him all the time.
Yeah, sees him... he sees him at important crossroads in his life, and he started seeing him when he was a kid, shortly after his father was killed, which that's something in the comics they never really tell you for sure if, like, that was his father's spirit talking to him or if that was just Jesse's mind creating this, like, safe haven for him that he's carried with him since he was a child.
And they totally fucked that up in season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, that's I don't expect it to be 100% comic accurate. It would go ahead.
So I was going to say, I have a tangent. I think that might be the inspiration for Clint Eastwood showing up in the popular children's film Rango.
Oh, totally. I can totally see that. Yeah.
That's 100% what happened.
Spirit of the West and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Damn it.
Which was
Rango,
voiced by, what's his face? The guy who... Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, Raylan Gibbons. Yeah.
But
who was my pick for cover at one point.
The reason I want to talk about Dallas, which actually had better ratings than Victor.
Mm.
You see why, like, at the end of episode 4, Jesse just comes into the house and he just starts pummeling Victor in the face, or no, trying to
Victor
trying to choke him out.
Mm-hmm.
And Tulip says, Jesse, he's my husband. And episode 5 begins literally not even a second after it. It's almost like they're two fluid episodes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think you could leave with a cliffhanger like that and not go right into it. Like, they don't have the, I guess, goodwill of everyone yet, the viewers, to be able to be like, all right, and we'll get back to that plot point in a second.
Mm-hmm.
And,
but it's...
Yep, everybody go ahead, one at a time. Raise your hands, children.
That'd be much easier.
The episode opens up with...
Well, it's...
What is happening?
I don't know. Allan is...
I don't know.
You have two people who are really into comics on a podcast, and they're trying to see who's more knowledgeable.
It's a dick measuring contest. It's a dick
Right.
measuring
Yeah,
contest.
basically.
Let's not do that, though.
Stop
Let's
rattling
save-
your preacher sabers.
Let's
I'm not
Right.
trying
save
to
it
do
for the
that
kids,
at all.
boys.
Let's
I
just talk
apologize.
about the show. How's about that?
That
Okay.
works.
Yeah, so this episode, that's the thing, like, I barely remember anything about it. All I remember is, Tulip lying to Jesse and the way Jesse finds out and the look on his face when he knows that she's been lying, and he's just like, yeah, I know what's been going on. I know what's up. And just the tension between them in that scene is the only thing that stands out to me in this entire episode.
And he
It's
immediately goes after Proto-Cass.
Yeah.
And just
Totally.
starts beating the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where he's crying/groaning.
Yeah.
And,
Well, that was...
and like he's
that
trying to
was-
leave, and there's one person saying go, one person saying don't.
Mm-hmm. That's the best stuff in the whole episode. Everything else, I really couldn't tell you anything. Is this the first time we've seen the woman who used to give them jobs, or did we see her in the first season?
No,
We saw her. We saw her in the first season. She went and delivered that info to Star. If you remember correctly, you only see him briefly in the movie theater, and you don't see his face.
Right.
Like you just see a man in a white outfit, and then you see him walking down that hallway.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was like, I didn't recognize her, but I liked her a lot. She also stood out to me. Her scene with them at dinner, and her like dressing them down. Otherwise, it's like that whole episode is kind of a blur and nothingness.
Well, what was it that she made for dinner for them? Whatever disgusting combination Tulip had gone to the store to buy to.
Yeah. She was like, who the hell makes this? Who makes this combination of things? And she keeps on offering them a contract on her husband.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting that they painted Jesse as being kind of listless for a while there, which I don't know. Like it, once again, coming from the comics, I have a very different expectation, I guess, of the character, and I have to just kind of accept what they're doing with him on the TV show. But it seems at times that they're sending mixed messages. Like they're trying to send you this message of him being this steely, doesn't take no for an answer, no nonsense type of guy, but then you see this flashback where
how he's defeated.
Yeah, how he's just kind of taking it.
So I think that comes from the fact that this is a show produced by Seth Rogen.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first season, I think what was impressive is that the Seth Rogenisms aren't there. Or what's there is very little. So there's none of the things you're like, oh, wow, Seth, you're doing that again? You're little beats that he likes to repeat over and over in his films, and they were not there. But like this episode with the slacker stuff.
Producer of this show.
Yeah,
Well,
same.
it's him, Evan Goldberg, and Sam Catlin.
Right.
And
they
each, Seth and Evan direct the first two episodes of each of. They directed the first two episodes of last season and this season.
That's really cool.
Sam Catlin, he wrote the first two episodes of last season and this season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Seth Rogen and Evan Katz wanted to get money for every episode that gets produced. Because that's what happens when you direct that pilot, yo. That's interesting. But I do feel that they're influenced more in this season. And they're sort of, again, the Seth Rogenisms are there. And I think that's what that is. The Jesse kind of being a slacker and having a stoner friend. And I don't know how much of a stoner Cass was in the comics, but he is very stoner-ific, to say the least, in this show.
Cass did a lot of things in the comic, but yeah, I don't remember them really focusing on him being a pothead of any sort. Mm-hmm. Like there's definitely some much later storylines, which, like I've said before, I don't know if they'll even touch on in the show, but he got up to some real nefarious shit based on his habits. So, and that's one of the more interesting things with the comic, and they haven't really addressed it as much in the TV show, but I think they're going that angle, is that him being a vampire, the only thing that really affected him was sunlight. I mean, he's pretty much a normal guy, except, he lives an inordinately long amount of time, and he is pretty strong. But outside of that, like, they never really made him like I'm Dracula type of vampire, or even some of the more popular versions of vampires in fiction. So it's interesting that they're actually trying to kind of keeping with that, where he's just kind of a normal guy with normal appetites. It's just he lives a lot longer.
Yeah, and there was a scene where he leaves Dennis's house to go talk to Jesse, and he starts talking about how he tells a story about how he used to be rich once, and like comparing himself to Victor, who Jesse has on a he took the
The hoist.
Yeah, in the previous episode during the Billy Joel fight, he impales the torture guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cassidy and he and Jesse have, I forgot the exact line. I think it's, "Why should I trust some junkie vampire?"
Yeah.
And that is a good scene that I did forget. And it's a good scene for one reason. It shows that Cass is much smarter than we think he is. Because he uses expert levels of reverse psychology there. Like, he plays Jesse very well in that scene. Because he knows... Yeah. Because he knows I can't logic him out of this. I have to make him think that he is smart, and I have to make him think that he knows the right thing to do, in hopes that he will do the right thing. And that was a very impressive moment, and it makes me appreciate Cass a little bit more, because I think he is much smarter than anyone gives him credit for.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and I mean that's part of his character, is playing people like a fiddle, for lack of a better term. Mm-hmm. He's like Master Miller. He just
exists in like thousands of years, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Eric, have you ever seen Misfits?
Misfits? The British TV show about all the people with powers.
Yeah. How did you see the whole series?
No, I only saw like 2 or 3 episodes.
Because Joseph Gilligan, who plays Cassidy, he was actually on that show. He played a character named Rudy, who was one of the best things about that show after most of the original cast left. And this is a show that this was like the launch. This is right after Ewan Ryan left to go on Game of Thrones. That show was sort of like the leaping point for him. And now he's gonna go back to. He's gonna go even darker in terms of quality for Inhumans.
On a side note, I just found it interesting that the actor playing Cassidy is British. Dominic Monaghan? Not Dominic Monaghan. The character playing Jesse. I can't remember the actor.
Dominic Cooper.
Dominic Cooper.
He's
Thank
British,
you.
Isn't he?
He's British as well, and he is either engaged to or married to Ruth Negga, who's Irish.
Yep.
Which I was blown away when I saw an interview with Ruth Negga.
You know what I
she
noticed?
Has an Irish accent.
That people from England have astoundingly wonderful Southern accents.
They really do.
Oh, another thing about Misfits. Ruth Negga was also on Misfits as well.
I mean, I'll be honest, a third of most people who are on Misfits are in most things that you like now. So that's not surprising.
Yeah,
certain British shows become like touch points for casting directors, it seems, because they've all seen them, so they just cast the people they see on British shows.
Yeah.
The star for the first 2 seasons, Robert Sheehan.
Right.
He was on a show with Littlefinger called Love Hate.
Yeah.
Character, Littlefinger.
Chaos is a latter.
And he's also. I was shocked when I saw his face in the trailer for Geostorm. I'm like, what?
Okay. You know what? Allan invoked the name of Geostorm in this fucking podcast. I saw that trailer before I saw War of the Planet of the Apes, and if I hadn't just got done laughing at Halle Berry's trailer for the movie Kidnap, I would have laughed my balls off at this fucking trailer.
So good.
Is this not from Rowan Emmerich, the same shithead who gave us 2012 and Godzilla?
No, it's the other half of that couple from Independence Day, because at some
Dean
point they
Devlin?
broke up. Yeah, Dean Devlin and him, I think they broke up around Day After Tomorrow. I don't mean they literally broke up. I know Roland Emmerich is gay, for those who are knowledgeable of that. I don't...
I had no
yeah.
clue.
I didn't have any idea.
Yes, he is gay. And so no, him and Dean Devlin, as far as I know, were not actually in a relationship, but they parted ways at some point.
No, they're basically like the Alex Kurtzman, Roberto Orsi.
And Orky. Yeah.
Of the 90s, yes. Allan, that's perfect. That's a perfect comparison. They are that.
Does this redeem? Am I redeemed for my Photoshop failures?
No.
Oh man,
Never. You'll never be. No.
So which one of them started becoming a 9/11 denier then?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I actually I think a more accurate one. Although Wingard and Simon Barrett haven't parted ways yet. That would actually be a more accurate modern pairing.
Who?
Simon Barrett, the writer of movies such as Blair Witch and You're Next and The Guest, and Adam Wingard, the director of all three of those films. So those two are a partnership, and one's the director and one's the writer.
You watch The Guest, You're Next, and Blair Witch back to back to back. You did the Blair Witch, you're like, what the fuck happened?
Wait, the one that came out.
Or you're like, this is a pleasantly surprising film that had no right to be this good.
The Blair Witch that came out this year?
Last year.
Anyways.
Me and Connor are going to fight over this movie at some point. That's going to be the undercard for Chris.
Here's the thing. I don't care about it enough to fight over it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's probably the strongest thing I can say about it.
Here's the thing I'm worried about. Roland Emmerich is rebooting Stargate.
Oh,
I mean,
fuck me.
Dean Devlin isn't involved last I heard. So
he made the original
yeah,
movie,
I know.
didn't he?
No, I'm a fan of the TV series.
Oh,
no, the movie is much better than the show.
The movie rocks.
The movie is also the inspiration for Atlantis, the Disney animated film. So it wouldn't be the first time it's happened.
Also had Mike Mignola doing art direction for that movie.
Look, the movie has Kurt Russell and Ultron. Okay.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's got McCready and Ultron in the same film. It's perfect.
They share scenes together. It has Ego and Ultron.
That's actually
damn it.
cool.
God, you're right.
Wait, what?
God.
The fucking movie
Ego,
has...
the Living Planet, and Ultron are in the same movie together.
So, and no else in the cast? French Stewart. No one talks about him anymore.
Well, for good reason.
For good reason.
He was in the fourth Home Alone film. Anybody else ever seen that?
Yeah. I made a mistake.
Hold on. Nope. Stop.
Is that the one where they had a different child?
Stop the show.
That was a replacement.
Everyone pause. There's a fourth Home Alone movie?
Oh,
yes,
no.
where,
three was when they changed the cast.
I have only seen the third one, and I saw it in theaters.
So French Stewart
they
plays
Karate Kid.
the Pesci character. That's right. French Stewart replaced Joe Pesci in a film.
Who replaced Daniel Stern?
That seems
Fuck
reasonable.
everything. I quit movies.
Seriously, though, who replaced Daniel Stern?
Nobody. There was a female sidekick.
So it was a Bardis and Natasha?
That's the thing, though. I'm still confused because it's French Stewart. He could have been playing either of them,
or the melded form of both.
Right. He could have been Joe Pesci. He could have been Daniel Stern.
They did a fusion dance and they created
yes.
Because if you look at his outfit, if you look at French Stewart in Home Alone 4, his outfit is Joe Pesci's outfit, but he is doing Daniel Stern. He is not trying to do Pesci at all.
Interesting.
What the?
It sounds like Home Alone followed the same trajectory that Karate Kid did. That they did 3 of them with the original cast, and then the fourth one they decided like, oh no, let's change.
No. They changed. They only did 2 Home Alones with Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, okay.
For the third one, they got a new kid who was not as good.
Yeah, and then in the fourth one, the Macaulay Culkin character comes back.
Okay.
Yeah,
but not played by Macaulay Culkin.
Cast. No.
So
who would want that?
When you can't
we are
even
so
get
far
Macaulay
off
Culkin.
course.
Well,
No,
at this point,
is...
Macaulay Culkin was like 20, so...
Yeah.
This is like 2004.
Nah, we usually get off topic at this point in the show anyway.
Yeah, kind of figured.
I just want to say before we go back.
Is there anything to go back to? Are we?
Yeah.
Well, there's still the 6th episode, yeah. Which that's when a lot of things happen.
Yeah.
2 more things. One thing is about Preacher, or episode 4 or 5 of Preacher, and the other is about Home Alone 1.
Okay. What?
Those are 2 completely unrelated thoughts.
Also, I have an answer. French Stewart was playing Marv, so that's something I never knew. And I put a picture in the chat, so...
Oh, Jesus, what the fuck?
I have fond memories of Home Alone 1 because the old man kind of reminded me of my grandpa.
Yeah.
Your grandpa was a scary man with a large shovel?
He was a scary, bearded old man.
Okay, as long as you provide the fact that he is indeed big and...
Yeah, and I
Scary.
mean, it's interesting. Home Alone has a lot of connections for you. I mean, I could think of characters who Buzz might be in your life.
And the funny thing is, I have my brother who I've told Hunter, Connor, and Arlen about. He's always been a problem. Even when he was younger. Apparently, I was the only one of my siblings to get smacked across the face by my grandfather. And
My grandpa never put a hand on me. He just liked to make me bowls of Raisin Bran and pancakes every morning.
Well, no, the reason I did it is because I was being...
Wait, Alan, before you continue, Raisin Bran?
Oh, as like a 9-year-old boy, I'm like, I want Raisin Bran because I lived with my grandparents for a long time, for a little, like maybe a solid year or so, something like that. Every fucking morning, just there it is, breakfast, Raisin Bran.
In his defense...
And so, like, growing up, I'm like, I fucking love Raisin Bran. Someone's like, what are you, a grandpa? I'm like, no, I love my grandpa.
I followed in the footsteps of my grandfather too, but I would finish his beers for him.
See, my first experience with beer was as a child. This is gonna get weird. Where my father jumped it down my throat. No, I woke up one morning after my formerly hardcore alcoholic parents had some kind of fucking fiesta. And I wake up, I'm like not even in kindergarten yet, or maybe just
Oh man, I feel terrible now.
And I get up,
that.
there's my Cookie Monster cup. I go to drink out of it, it's beer.
Oh.
And then as an adult, I'm like, who the fuck was drinking a beer out of my Cookie Monster cup?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I believe the saying is any port in a storm.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, unless you're like really drunk, you're not using a kid's Cookie Monster cup. Like that's.
And it's whatever. You can laugh at this thing because my parents will never listen to this show. My dad maybe, and he'll laugh. My mom doesn't even know what podcasts are. I was like, Mom, I have a show on the internet. She's like, in front of a camera?
Yeah, Mom, and you have to pay me $10 to see the whole thing.
Yeah, Mom.
Well, that's when we moved. That's when we moved to Patreon.
Yeah.
Do I have to pay to watch it? Yeah, pay me the savings bonds you stole from me.
Oh, that now it got real.
Now it's turning into family therapy.
Okay, let's get back on topic.
Oh, wait,
back to
I
Preacher.
just want to say one last thing about Preacher. Or about episode
Well,
4.
We've still got more things to talk about.
No, I meant about episode 4.
Okay, episode 4.
Oh, Jesus, Alan, you're taking us back in time.
No, it's because it's something for Hunter and Connor.
Okay.
Connor, did you notice who was the warden's right-hand man?
No.
Brodus Clay.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I looked up on the X-ray
my
feature,
God.
and it
Is
said
this wrestling shit?
It is.
Yeah, he was a WWE guy who he's the reason Edge had to retire.
Okay then.
That
All right, now
you
back on
just said a bunch
topic.
of names that don't mean anything to a whole lot of people.
Right.
Okay, so
Back
wait,
to
wait,
episode 6.
Are you guys not reading the WWE comic?
No.
I didn't know that existed, and now that I hate
Yeah,
it.
they're telling the story about why Triple H betrayed Seth Rollins.
Oh my god, I don't give a shit.
wow.
I bought that trade
Of course you did. God damn it, Alan.
because, as Vince
Okay.
Russo would say, I'm a mark.
Yeah, you are. You are the biggest mark I know.
And yet we can't get you to finish Man of Steel because you didn't like John Kent.
I'm gonna watch
Back
it
to
tomorrow.
back to Preacher episode
Yes.
6.
So
Right.
episode 6 opens with what was it? Was it all of them just hanging out in Dennis's house?
No.
and-
It opens up.
Huh?
It opens up.
With the soul purchasing.
Who is played by former Heroes alum James Kyson.
Oh yeah. That's a. Which I mean, maybe we'll do from the vault reviews of Heroes at some point. Who knows?
Oh god.
Probably not. but,
Here's a fun thing. I've never seen a single episode of Heroes.
First
you should
season's
watch. Yeah, I was gonna say you
Season
should
1
watch-
is good. It's the only good season.
No, I like season 3.
Season 1 also
because-
has Chris Eccleston.
Because season 3 they really embrace that it's a dumb comic book show. Season 2 tries to be like very highbrow.
Is
And-
season 2 the one with time travel, like serious ass time travel?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like
Okay.
season 3, like their thing is like villains. We're gonna have bad guys, and we're gonna have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And that's like the second best season. So that's the
season
other.
2 is also the season where Peter left time traveled to the future
Yep.
with his Irish girlfriend.
God.
And
then just left her there.
yeah, and just left her there to die of disease.
Wow.
Right. It's this like weird virus storyline that does not matter.
That
Okay,
show-
we're
that
off-
show-
way off topic.
I have to
Yeah.
say,
Um,
that show got ruined by the writer's strike.
It did. That's true.
As did many
Um,
things. Preacher episode 6.
along
For
with
the
the
love of God.
Yeah.
Um,
Quantum
yes.
Solace, rest in peace.
So the soul purchasing thing, I thought that was actually a really cool twist because that was something that they didn't do at all in the comics, but it was in the same vein as the bizarreness is something that would show up in the comics.
I was very confused by what it was at first because
really?
it was so scientific.
You didn't see
at
the
least-
sign that it was translated in big text saying "Your soul's go-go"?
No, I didn't actually. I guess it didn't translate on my TV, but yeah, it didn't translate till later when he's in the shop looking for a soul. It all connected for me. What was going on? But yeah, once that all clicked for me, like that's the funniest shit ever. A person's soul can be found through their butt crack or whatever, and like that's the kind of thing that you would expect from.
Well, it
Rogen.
wasn't. It
Yeah,
wasn't
you know,
necessarily in his butt. I thought it was in his thigh, but it was.
It
Close
was in
enough
his,
that-
it was in his intestines. I'm pretty sure.
Where's
But,
Mom Dennis?
Well,
He has asthma, I think.
God damn it! Al.
Wow, that was such a good answer.
No, because he has the oxygen thing.
Okay.
it could have been anything. Who knows what the minutiae.
All right, but
no,
okay,
because the Saint crushes it when
right.
he's going to try to kill him and ask Preacher, and there's a whole language disconnect.
Hmm.
Uh huh.
And
Also-
I don't understand how he had his phone on speaker with that type of phone.
So, did they introduce the French guy yet?
Yeah, a while ago, Dennis.
Yes,
The
okay.
son.
So,
Yeah.
I just want to point out how hilarious to me that Cass has a friend who speaks French, but he never bothered to learn the language.
Well, there's a
Right.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when Tulip is like, he's your dad, isn't he? It's like,
Yeah.
no, he's not his dad. He's like, no, it's more the reverse.
No,
That
he
was-
no, he
that
just
was
flat out says he's my son,
Yeah.
No, I remember it being something a little bit more artful than that. But
and he
that's to me.
says sadly, and he had the rough luck of having me for a die.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the whole reason that the soul whatnot comes into play, I thought was really cool that they showed them doing all the research in the library about the Saint of Killers.
Eric, I have a question about the comics. Were they using actual panels from the comics?
Yeah, they totally were. Yeah, there's a
great.
mini series that tells the whole backstory of the Saint of Killers, which it's kind of interesting because in the comic, it basically follows the same idea. His family was sick. He'd gone to that town to get whatever. There's a blizzard that blew over, and he comes back and they're dead. And in the comic, he goes back and kills, or starts to kill this gang of bandits that had held him up and caused him to be late because of some shit that they did earlier. And they end up killing him. And he goes to hell, but he still has a soul. But what ends up happening is because, to quote the comic directly, his soul is so full of hatred and rattlesnake mean that he freezes hell over. And the Angel of Death and Satan, who are card buddies, are wondering why all of a sudden it's starting to get cold in there. Satan finds the Saint of Killers or not Saint of Killers, whatever his character's name is, causing hell to freeze over and begins to torture him, doesn't do anything at all. He doesn't respond to it. Finally, the Angel of Death has an idea where he's like, well, I'm kind of tired of being the Angel of Death, so you want to take over this job? And they end up melting down his sword that he uses to kill with and turning into two. No, he uses a sword in the comic. You're thinking of the Grim Reaper. He uses a scythe.
Yeah.
They melt down his sword and turn him into two Walker Colts that would never miss a shot. Every shot that he shoots would kill, and no chamber would ever fall on empty. And what ends up happening then is he kills Satan before he leaves hell, because Satan yells at him about, like, yeah, get your horrible cold ass out of here, and Saint of Killers turns around and shoots him. So yeah, it's a little bit different.
Like you do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that would be a special effects showcase that they would have to do, and they don't have that type of budget for this show.
Yeah, I do like the way that they do it, where it's like, oh, God took his soul away. That was that was an interesting way to turn that, and I do like how they use that as a weakness.
I just say, I'm on Comic Vine right now, and it's nearly the character wiki. It's nearly word for word for what was on the book on tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they directly
I love
lifted.
that.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job of showing that aspect of why he was damned and all that whatnot. And I think the inclusion of him not having a soul made him a much more interesting antagonist for Jesse, because, I mean, in the comics he could control him with his voice because he had a soul.
Well, it says here, the Saint sold his soul after a tragedy so they could continue to kill.
I guess he did. I'm trying to remember. I just seem to remember him saying, like, if he could kill one last time, but because his soul was so full of hatred and was so cold, they basically didn't take it from him because he killed Satan. So,
and did he actually appear in, like, it says here, did he really appear in like over 50 issues of the book? Because I know it only went to
it went up to like 76 or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Shit.
I do like that Preacher hits spawn levels of ridiculous lore poppycock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I killed the devil.
Right.
Well, it's that's the thing. In the comic, at least, they just tell you about that in the side 6 issues or 4 issues or so that are about his background, and that's
special Saint of Killers.
Yeah, they never have the Saint of Killer like walk up to Jesse in the comics and say, like, I killed the devil or anything along those lines.
Right.
He's just a lumbering chunk of meat that kills, essentially.
And the thing is, I kind of didn't like what happened to him at the end of the episode, or at the end of this episode, because I love Graham McTavish. He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
And he's he just played. I just want a Saint of Killers spinoff where it's just him killing everything he sees.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's,
I don't like that they kind of fridged him a little bit by putting him in that truck. Because that's what they did. They were like, okay, we need to get rid of him for like 3 episodes. Because if he's there, people will start to wonder why he hasn't shown back up again. So they put him in the truck as like a way of keeping him on the show. But like, oh, this is why he's not already tracked Jesse down. And
well,
so
I think... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was done. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, I think the reason why they specifically had him in that particular truck, or not the particular truck, in the truck, and where Jesse brought him, when he was driving out to the swamp to drop him into the swamp, you see him pass a sign for a town called Angelville, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And Angelville is the town, or the ville, whatever you want to call it, that his grandmother lives in. So I think what will happen is later, if they are going to do that particular storyline, I think the Saint will probably pop back up during that, because I think Star going forward is going to be the main antagonist.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they're putting him in a box for later on. That works too.
Yeah, and I think it's better to do that, because you have him be such a strong presence in the very beginning of the show, or the second season at least, and then introduce this other antagonist who's, if things continue with the way they're going, I think it's going to be real interesting what happens with Star. So
I also liked that the Saint actually got to say something other than preacher.
Yeah.
I mean, he ended up saying it in the end. Because, I mean, like I said, I like Graham McTavish, and I've enjoyed him, like his work in video games, movies, TV.
In the 4th Rambo film, you aren't a man. This is war. God damn it, I love that movie. Yeah. What are we talking about?
Well,
that is the question I've been asking myself the last hour and 20 minutes.
The reason that that Jesse swamps him, or fridges him, as Arlen put it so eloquently, is because he had to give 1% of his soul to the Saint.
Right.
And he was going to send him to hell, and the Saint said, you'd be sending your soul to hell too. And that's when he decided to switch to plan B.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I also like it was gross, or it was kind of disgusting and enjoyable too. But I found that what do you guys think of the scene where he's getting ready to stab Tulip, and Cass jumps on the sword, grabs the sword and slices all his fingers off?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was pretty grody.
I do have a question though.
Right.
At the end of the episode, Dennis, or Cass gets Dennis an HD TV, a PS4, or a PlayStation. He just says PlayStation, but I'm assuming PS4.
No, it's a PlayStation 1 now.
Where did they get the money?
Cass has a bank account, and it's just it's been accruing credit for 400 years, and he leaves it to himself. Probably he put $1 in there, and it's just like,
I'll just sit on this for a while.
Yeah, I'm guessing, but that's probably
I mean, that's really neither here nor there. I'm sure somebody has a credit card, or Tulip has some sort of folding money somewhere.
Yeah, and again, he's been alive for 400 years. I bet he has a bank account in every state in the country, nonetheless, every nation in the world. So,
well, you're forgetting that in the pilot, after he fell out of the plane, he he was asking someone. He was talking to someone about he was low on money, and he needed help.
Yeah, that's right. He did say that.
Yeah.
I'm just
He
guessing,
went
but
and spent it all on drugs and alcohol.
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I really like Jesse's failed attempt to break into the truck.
Yeah.
And Tulip knowing exactly how to break into an armored truck and being wrong.
Well, I didn't think she knew how to break into an armored truck. She was just telling him how to make a bomb.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, because
I don't know why.
Because it didn't work. The bomb didn't work.
Right. I think she's tried it before and it has worked, but she probably hasn't broken into an armored truck that many times.
That's true. Or one that's carrying souls.
Also, I got Matrix vibes during that scene.
I also think that the Japanese group that is buying souls and selling souls is going to come into play later on.
Probably.
After Jesse basically robbing them.
Is that a thing from the comics, that group? Are they like
no, not at all.
Okay, so that might be a Rogan original sort of main
totally
villain
is.
down the line.
I mean, I think it's... Oh, go ahead.
That's interesting, because it's interesting to see how the Japanese culture and their view of the supernatural might affect later seasons in a very, I would say, Christianity-heavy show as far as like the kinds of lore that they're drawing from. So it'd be interesting to see sort of a melding and how those two things interact with each other.
No, that's actually a really good point, because that's not something they really touched on at all in the comic. So I think they have a much wider palette to use with the show, and so far I think, like I said about I forget what even the point was earlier that I'd mentioned, but that they understand the inherent weirdness of the premise of the comic and the things that were involved in it. So they kind of understand how to throw certain things in that would probably fit within the framework of the original comic.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to mention. I totally forgot about this. During episode 5, I know I don't want you guys don't like that episode for some reason.
It's really slow and nothing happens.
No, it was character building.
Just wait till you get to episode 8.
So was the lead up to Saboteur.
Right, like sometimes I don't care
no,
about
that was
character
just
moments.
total gobshite.
I mean, so many things were gobshite. No, like sometimes I care about character episodes and character development episodes, like in Game of Thrones, because it's usually to a purpose. The next episode's going to be something big and eventful that's going to happen.
The 3 best, you know what? 4. The 4 best Walking Dead episodes, fight me, Internet, are the episodes that focus on a singular character. And 3 of those episodes
were the governor.
Was it 2? Or is it...
No, 2.
No, it's 2. It's
okay.
The one with him in the pit of zombies or whatever.
Yes, okay. So
the Morgan episode with Eastman?
Yes, and the Morgan episode. Those 3 episodes are the best, the best efforts from that show. Because they focus on a singular character who is fascinating, and the results are astounding.
Yeah, it's not Rick biting a guy's neck out.
Or 18 episodes of "Where's the little girl at? We don't know."
Carl.
Yeah, but the payoff to the "Where's the little girl" is like the best episode, the best moment of the whole fucking show.
It was. But
I still say, I don't care how many times you beat fucking Glenn's head in, nothing is as devastating as those doors opening up and you going, "Oh my fucking god."
I just wish it hadn't been 6 some odd episodes to get to that reveal. Like, I mean, I know that was part of the writer's strike was going on during that point, so it definitely slowed it down.
No, that was the transition between Darabont and Mazzara.
Yeah, it was during the whole AMC budget slashing firing.
Yeah,
they somehow got more budget as once Glenn Mazzara took over.
Yeah, it's almost like they were trying to fuck Frank Darabont or something.
Yeah. Huh. AMC would never do that.
No,
never
not
do
them.
No.
No, AMC would never try to exert complete, utter, insane control over the only show they actually own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never see that coming ever.
No, not at all.
No.
Hey, Preacher's on AMC.
Yeah.
But I think we're done talking about it.
Good show.
Yeah. There's not much more to talk
Hunter,
about with Preacher.
Hunter, have you shrunk? What happened?
What? Oh
You
no, I was sitting away from I'm falling asleep.
It's like Preacher's a really good show.
So I made the mistake of I'm on the wiki for Preacher, trying to jog my memory in case I forget something, and I think I may have ruined one of the best storylines in the book that they may have ruined.
Which one would that be? Without revealing anything.
Wait.
The shit.
The what now?
What is associated with, or what is often called, the shit?
The shit.
I'm so lost.
I'm kind of lost myself. I'm not really sure exactly what you're referencing.
It was a war that happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's an aspect of the show or the comic that's never going to be in the show. It's
Because
not
it was,
contemporary
if I'm not mistaken, it was a whole volume, right, or a whole trade.
If what I think you're talking about, no, it was something that was interspersed throughout. I mean, we're talking about Jesse's dad, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was stuff that was interspersed throughout the show or the comic for lack of a better term, flavor text. Like they'd have an issue or two here and there telling about his. Yeah, yeah. It's okay to say it talks about Jesse's dad in the Vietnam War, like. But outside of that, I mean, I don't know what else you could be talking about.
Well, it involves someone from involves Star. Also.
Oh. With Jesse's dad, I'm not sure what you're referencing.
Oh no, it's they mixed both the it's something that Airstar does, or it's investigating in Vietnam.
No idea, because Hairstar didn't investigate anything in Vietnam. I think that might have been a mistake on the wiki then. I'm
not talking about the official wiki. I'm talking about Wikipedia.
No, okay, I know what you're talking about now. No, they haven't ruined anything yet.
I mean, I like the actor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the only person who was it could be me, miscast, was Lucy Griffiths.
Which character which actor did that actor play?
She played Emily Woodrow.
Okay.
She was the one who basically fed the mayor of Anvil to Cassidy when he was after he got his tan.
Yeah. Yep.
Preacher. Sorry, we are fucking circling the drain here though, because we're really stretching too much out of 3 episodes.
Yeah, we are.
We're approaching 2 hours, and we need to wrap. So,
well,
yeah,
a bit of that, and a bit of me, Eric, and Arlen are the only ones that seem to remember most of the episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we've done this before with Supergirl, but we've also never done 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to talk about anything. I mean, there might be a little bit of news. Is there? Is there any news?
I don't think so. Not really.
Defenders is coming soon. Hey.
Yeah.
I saw something
Next
about
week.
Batista's going to be in the Valiant verse.
Yeah. Is
Fucking
he playing
double
Bloodshot?
agent?
No, I can't remember who he's playing. Shit. Yeah, I saw something
Eternal
about
War.
it too.
Eternal
Okay.
War.
Whatever. I don't care about Valiant.
I mean,
at all.
yeah.
I don't know a fucking thing about Valiant Comics.
Do you know
Yeah.
Exo Man of War?
I mean, I know of him.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah,
valiant
all I know is
character.
Bloodshot. That's the only character I even have any awareness of. So
Although I couldn't physically describe Man of War to you. Man of War. I've had 2 hours of sleep.
Can we talk about
his
the
armor
Grail?
is yellow and blue. Talk about what now?
The Grail.
What?
none of what you're saying words, but there's no meaning behind it.
He's talking about the Grail from Preacher, but I think it's
Stop!
a little bit too late to get into that at this
Oh,
point.
No.
Alan, we gotta wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I just want to say another favorite actor of mine who was on Better Luck Ted, Malcolm Barrett.
Mm.
He's a recurring character on the show this season, as one of the Grail's like top tier operatives, and he actually, and he showed up in the beginning of, I want to say, episode 4.
Interesting. All right, so can we do plugs?
Yeah.
Hunter
I'm
just
ready
wants
to
to cross the finish line.
I'm ready to plug.
Limping.
Follow me on Twitter at Davenport. You can find my writing on the Haro.
Good site.
Good site, fantastic site.
Yes.
Check it out.
It's a pretty good site.
It's a good site that I'll have hopefully something by the end of next month. Actually, something written by me.
Oh shit. So he's gonna start his WordPress account, and he's gonna.
Yep, I'm gonna start analyzing the size of the document first, and then I'll get to writing by December. What happened? I couldn't decide if I wanted to do a fucking cover page format or if I wanted to do a letter format.
Is this the version of Shadows them?
The joke is I suck at planning and I'm my own worst critic, so even if I get halfway through a project, I hate it and then I destroy it.
That's why I'm not revealing the secret project until it's finished, and it's coming along.
Connor, just write about Dark Souls.
That's what's happening next month, which is going to be easy because it's very personal.
Okay, Arlen, cut that part out. What have we just talked about?
What?
What?
No, fine. We've talked about it before. We don't need to cut it out. Hey guys, I use Dark Souls to get over some mental health issues. There we go. That's the topic. Anyway, it's not a secret. I'm kind of. You can follow me on Twitter at Western Commando. I don't tweet that much, but I might start tweeting some bullshit about Richard Spencer being stranded in Antarctica where it's all white and he can die cold and alone.
Oh shit.
Very good. Very good.
Oh man. Okay.
That is almost on par with Arlen's retweeting of Jeff May's tweets about random ethnic people punching Richard Spencer in the face. Which I told Arlen a while ago. I said, Arlen, this is starting to get old. And he's like, no, it never will.
No.
It won't.
Yeah, I just stopped paying attention. Otherwise, I would still be
I
reblocking
saw
it.
him getting arrested today, and I laughed for 5 straight fucking minutes.
Oh,
Fuck
that
him and
made
his
me
stupid
so
fucking
happy.
face and his goddamn dumb haircut. I hate him. I hope he dies.
Oh, okay then.
Wait,
For more about
wait.
Richard Spencer,
I didn't get the plug. I have some plugs.
Well, I was gonna do. God damn that. Okay,
God, it's almost like Chris is on this episode with how antagonistic Alan's being.
it really is.
I kind of love it.
Can you bring Chris back, please? Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm gonna do my plug.
Okay, you do your plug, then I'll do
Right.
mine.
All right. Twitter at AARO. Please follow me there. I'm gonna start keeping to my name, which is Space Columbo, and start putting space. So look out for that.
All right,
Follow
Alan,
that
You
up.
can follow. Hold on. I got a message from my sister who was with my mom at the hospital.
Oh, good. Yo, you
Okay.
can follow Alan Muir on Twitter.
Go.
Get out
Yeah.
of here. Go.
Yeah.
No. I told her I'm podcasting, and it can wait.
what?
Okay,
No. It's
let's do your thing. Twitter's Alan Muir.
follow me on
Yeah,
on
you're
Twitter
good.
at the Allan Muir. Follow our the Video Game Hours Twitch channel, twitch.tv/VideoGameHourPod. You can see us stream Dying Light or something else. Mainly, it's mostly going to be Dying Light because we were having fun with it.
Yeah. You can also listen to the podcast VGH, which feature who's on that podcast, Allan?
I think a handsome young man named Hunter Davenport is on there, and 2 other handsome young men named Connor McGraw and Alan Muir.
Yes.
Oh wow, sounds like a very fun podcast to listen to.
You can find it at losharrow.wordpress.com.
That's right. You can find the RSS feed there. You can find an RSS feed to, well, at this moment, one other podcast, but who knows? Maybe that will change in the future. Ooh. Yeah. Look forward to that.
I have a small plug. If you need to find me, I'll be the old man outside yelling at clouds.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Also, you can find Eric in the Phantom Zone podcast group. Well, it's not the podcast group, but the group which inspired this podcast. You can see him posting occasionally with his thoughts on things about stuff. So yay!
Yay!
Did that.
Old man interneting.
Yeah. All right. I think that's enough. Bye.